Welcome everyone to the Fibromyalgia Impact Tour. We are so excited for this very special interview. We have legendary superhero advocates guests with us. And I had to use legendary because it's just an amazing time to have Barby and Ken with us. So I can't wait to get into this interview. So I'm Melissa Talwar from the Support Fibromyalgia Network. Estella, you want to introduce yourself before we get to Barby and Ken?
Yes. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. I am Estella Mata. I'm one of the co-founders of Looms for Lupus, and our organization supports those living with lupus and overlapping conditions like fibromyalgia, etc. And we support their loved ones and caregivers as well. So we're excited to be here today. Like you said, this is my favorite couple. So I'm excited for today.
Oh, I know. Well, I mean, I don't even know if you guys need introductions, but I'm going to go through some brief introductions. So Barby is an Amazon best-selling author. She's the president of the International Pain Foundation, editor of iPain Living, and I love this, the cheerleader of hope. We had Jade on previously, so eventually you guys going to have to teach me moves so I can learn something. I was the math nerd in high school doing math tournaments. So
wow. That's impressive.
Well, and then Ken, welcome too. You are the VP of International Pain Foundation, the editor-in-chief of iPain Living magazine, CEO of My Genetic Meds, and licensed drone pilot, and also the husband to Barby. So welcome, Barby and Ken. We're so excited to have you on the trip.
We're excited to be here, that you stopped here in Arizona to see us and to share what we're doing, and we love what you guys are doing. So thank you for all that you guys do.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, yeah, if you want some aerial footage, let me know.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Well, I wish this was an in-person meetup because I know it's been a long time since we've gotten a chance to meet in person and we miss it. So, but at least thank you so much for joining us. And in all of you tuning in out here watching the interview, please drop us a comment and let us know where you're watching from. Say hello to Barby and Ken as we do this interview. And I'm going to post a link really quick too to the website because sometimes I forget as we get into the interview. So everybody can check out your website and learn about all your services. But awesome. Let's get the interview started. Estella, take it away.
Yes. So Barby and Ken, we are so happy that you can join us today, and welcome to the Fibromyalgia Impact Tour. We're just so excited to do our pit stop there in Arizona today. And please, let us know what you are doing over in Arizona, and not just there, but nationally and also internationally. So we are highlighting advocates that impact the community. And you don't just impact your local community, but international communities as well. So what inspired you to start International Pain Foundation?
Well, every year, my family growing up, every Thanksgiving, we would, at Thanksgiving dinner, we would say, what do we want to do this year? We would choose something for the year. So it could be going to food banks and helping serve food, or going to nursing homes and visiting with the residents there to spend time with them and make sure that they had somebody that was looking after them. Christmas caroling at different houses throughout the neighborhood. Different things. We chose something different every year. And in 2006, it had been almost 4 years since I got since I got sick. And then about a year since I had gotten the proper diagnosis. My stepsister actually passed away from the same condition, reflex sympathetic dystrophy, which is similar to fibromyalgia. And that year, my brother said, maybe we should do something like start a foundation, because Barby can't be the only one who couldn't get the right care. Melanie couldn't be the only one to not get the right care. There has to be other people out there. Let's have something where we can teach people how to do this and get them access to proper and timely care. And so that was basically the idea for the year, but it turned into a nonprofit and turned into, here we are 16 years later.
And that was the inception. And it was, honestly, it was out of personal experience. In like most great nonprofits, they are created from a person's personal experience because they see the need for that help that needs to be out there, that they can fill that void. And so and it started off as Power of Pain Foundation. I don't know how many people know that, because we've been International Pain Foundation for quite some time, because it grew and grew and it grew. And we've got a really large outreach outside of the US. And so it became International Pain Foundation.
And that's amazing to see how one person's story and the impact that our conditions, take on us, or the lack of care that we get, is really what truly empowers us and inspires us to not just do it for ourselves, but to help and empower others that might be going through the same struggles. So I commend you for everything that you are doing, and yes, at an international level. But can you share about the programs that you have created so far with the International Pain Foundation?
Sure. We have 4 areas of focus. So all of our programs fall into one of these 4 areas. First is education for patients, caregivers, and providers. Second is awareness for the public. Third is social events for patients and their families and caregivers, because a lot of times patients in pain will isolate themselves and stop being social, which we need that social interaction to be happy, healthy, and mindful individuals. And then access to care is our 4th area, and that has a whole bunch of programs under that with our peer-to-peer mentor program. We work on some legislative projects on the state and federal levels here in the United States, and we've also done some legislative work in Australia and a little touch in Mexico as well. So we have been focusing on those 4 areas, and we have an iPain Summit, we have our iPain Living magazine, we have November, and iGiveACare Run Walk Roll, and monthly webinars. And when we were doing in-person events, we would do smaller summits and then have our big international summit. But right now those are on hold, and we're just doing the international summit each year. For last year and this year virtually. So we still have a lot going on, even though everything's changed due to the pandemic. I know I missed a lot of them.
Well,
we have a quilt project.
The thing is with this, and like I'm sure you both can attest to this, is when you first start out, you do a lot of different things before you figure out which one you're really good at and which one makes the most difference and which one you want to hang on to and dial it in. And so that has been really a lot of fun. I mean, we've done and tried many different things. And these are the ones that we really hung on to and grew. November is a really awesome project because it's nerve pain. And November is the month for nerve pain. And nerve pain is in so many different conditions. When we first started off, it was about RSD because that's what we knew and that's what our experience was, and it was about, and we got educated about that. It didn't take very long to realize there's many overlapping symptoms with nerve pain for many other conditions. So we kind of opened it up and started educating about more than just RSD, because as we got educated, we saw the need for all of it, really. I mean, because there was such a void out there.
Yeah, and chronic pain could be physical, but it also could be mental.
Absolutely.
Pain and also spiritual pain. So we've really grown from that one condition into over 150 different conditions now, most being rare. And they all involve pain.
And mostly we've grown. I mean, because of all this and educating ourselves before we can educate other people, it has really taken us in a really awesome direction to where we can help a lot of people. So,
we also have done really good with partnering, and we know where we have strengths and where we have weaknesses, and there's so many different organizations and there's so many different things that need to get addressed in the healthcare system. I think it's working as designed, but it has design flaws. And getting that to a point where those things can be fixed isn't just the responsibility of one organization. It takes many organizations. So we also partner or support other organizations that are doing great projects and great work so that we can
Yeah, there's so much room at the top. It's not a competition to be on top, and it shouldn't be, because there's so many voids and needs. If I say the same thing to a patient that you do, they might relate to you more than me. It's just the way it is, and I'm not offended, and nobody should be. So it's not a competition to get to the top and want to be the king or anything. So there's a lot of room at the top. It's a big mountain. And it's a big mountain to climb with a lot of tasks and challenges and everything else.
I love that you mentioned that. I mean, it's not a competition, us all working together. And I think that's so great to hear from you. I mean, I remember meeting you both at Pain Week at a booth there. It was years and years ago. I was a really, really shy advocate. I wasn't sure I wanted to get involved in this. Nobody really knew. I hadn't really come out, except my family knew I had fibromyalgia. So, but I remember meeting the both of you, and you were so warm, and Barby was sharing with me her experience. And I was like, it was so inviting to know that someone else cared. And it just really resonated with me. So when you're saying about collaboration and working together, not a competition, I just appreciate that so much. And it also goes into even my next question of just maybe advice for all of us out there on collaborating, because I was really intimidated to put this interview together because there's so much. I remember you guys talking about step therapy. I saw Barby doing interviews in magazines. So how are we going to cover all of this? But I mean, with all the work that you've done in the collaboration area, do you have any advice for some of us who have like groups or even advocates?
I would say, I don't know what Ken's advice is going to be, but mine is don't say yes to everything. Make sure that it fits in your wheelhouse. Everything needs to happen, and we all will be reached with different messaging and different ways to deliver that messaging. But be open to sharing. It's really easy to click like or reshare or retweet, whatever platform calls it, whatever thing. It's really a lot easier to share that, but also you want to make sure that you're staying within your brand, but showing support for the whole community, because your brand is not the end all be all. It's one piece of a whole picture, and it takes all the different parts, all the different opinions, ways to accomplish the goals to get something actually accomplished in society. So you say yes when it's appropriate and say no when it's appropriate, but you don't have to be mean about saying yes or saying no. Like, it's not a tit for tat. Like, you do this for me and I'll do that for you. It's, hey, this is something that my community would benefit from. I'm going to say yes and support this and push it forward. If you don't feel like it's the perfect fit, or it goes against your personal beliefs or your organization's beliefs, then you don't have to respond or say anything negative about it. Just don't jump in and be a part of that. Somebody else is going to connect with that, and whatever their final goal is, usually it's a positive goal that will help the community, even if it's not the way you would do it. So don't put that down because your way is your way.
And just, I mean, really, it's great advice. And to kind of piggyback off of it, know your strengths, so that whenever you do want to partner with somebody, you're not tripping or stepping on each other's toes. And if you know your strengths, remember what I said, it took us a while to dial everything in, to really know what our strengths are and what we wanted our strengths to grow, our strengths and stuff. But when you figure out what your strengths are, it really lends a helping hand. Not to mention credibility, but when you're trying to partner with somebody else, it's like, well, these are my strengths. And I'm not looking for somebody with the same strengths. I'm looking for somebody with those, or you can better match a partnership whenever you know your strengths and their strengths. So just to piggyback off of what Barby says. And again, we tried a lot of different things before we really dialed in and got comfortable with the ones that we wanted to grow the most.
Communication is key.
Oh, absolutely.
Really, if you're not going to support something, you can have a responsible conversation with the leader of that other organization or project, and in a nice way. You don't have to be mean about it. You don't have to say, "Ooh, I like your idea. I'm going to go steal it and copy it word for word." Like, it's their thing. Support their thing to help all of our community.
And you might be able to enhance somebody's project with your strengths. But then again, you got to know that line of where the boundary is to where somebody's going to feel threatened by your intruding into their project, so to speak. Hope that makes sense, because nobody wants to put a lot of time, effort, energy, and money into a project to have somebody else kind of run with it, without your permission.
Oh, we understand, Estella and Juana and I, just working with Looms for Lupus. I think people are like, you've teamed up with Looms for Lupus. Yes, because of that reason, our strengths. I think Estella can go into it more, but I love to nerd out on all kinds of science and technology, but I'm an introvert. So
I know. I tell Melissa this was like perfect because she helps me with all the tech side, and I'm like, okay, turn on the camera, I'm good to go.
Right.
Exactly. Know your strengths and work in that. You don't have to
just build your own strengths.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you see, this is why you're the biggest cheerleader. Look at you, Barbie, because it's something. Again, it's the power that you give, power of pain, the power that you give to those individuals that may not feel like talking about their conditions, like Melissa going out to you, and you probably don't even remember because you've touched and talked to so many people, but she remembers. So the fact that you made an impact in her life, and look at her now, look at everything that she's doing. Look at what Melissa is doing. She's getting all these different communities together, all these different, people, and highlighting what they are doing. And I haven't seen anyone do that. It's not about competition. And Melissa does not mind highlighting everything that everyone else is doing, just like we're doing today with highlighting what you're doing. And it's just amazing to see, again, everything that you're doing. And for us to be able to do this road trip, we would be in person if it wasn't for COVID. Right. And it would probably be so much fun. But just to talk about this road trip, what would a road trip be like if we would be in the same car with you, or just, a fly on the wall of when you guys are driving on a road trip?
Really quick, we'll get to the road trip in 1 second.
Pull over, I gotta pee.
Really quick.
Are we there yet?
I want to say, in cheerleading, just really quick with cheerleading, cheerleaders are known, like, you build a pyramid, right? And to do that pyramid, there's different parts and positions of the pyramid to make the pyramid work. And so some people are more designed to be a base, some people are more designed to be the support, some people are more designed to be the top. So it's kind of like what you were saying, like Melissa is probably more of a spotter, and then there's organizations that are more like to be that strong foundation or base, and then there's some that are designed to be the one on top. But don't ever forget that there's always the ones on the end of the pyramid that are there to be pretty and cap it off. And be the thing that rounds the picture out to bring the whole thing to the public. And you need all of those different spots to make it work. So I just wanted to add that in. Go cheerleader.
That's
awesome. And for a road trip, I mean, it would take, if you spent time with us, it is a lot of planning ahead of time. And I actually set out our clothes. I don't set them out. We have a bar.
It was a swimming pool. It was a pole from a swimming pool net. And I was in a pinch, and I'm like, we're driving, and we'd prefer to drive somewhere than to fly if it's we have this range of 300 to 500 miles. Of anything after that, we fly. But if we can drive, then we can iron all of our clothes.
He can iron all of our clothes.
And I chopped this pole down to fit in the back seat and the hand grips. And I put it there so we hang all of our clothes on it.
So we don't use a suitcase.
It's weird going into hotels because you're not walking in with luggage. You're walking in with all these hangers.
On a swimming pool pole.
Yeah. So it's a little bit strange.
But it's very organized.
And she's in the room, so I'm walking through the hotel like a weirdo.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that's the best tip ever, because
and then he only has to iron once, and then you don't have to iron it, put it in your suitcase, and then do touch-ups when you get there. It's ready to go, hung. And I put it in order of what day, what outfits we wear, matching outfits. So what outfit
I let her take care of all that. It's
matches, and that's all pre-planning and organizing.
Tell me what you're wearing, or tell me what I'm wearing.
And depending, like if it's a 1 or 2 day event, I might start like 2 weeks ahead of time. But if it's like a 7-day event that we're going to, or multiple outfit changes for the same days, then I might start hanging clothes on the rack about a month ahead of time, so that he has time to iron them. They're ready to go. I can switch outfits out if I find out, oh, this is going to be more casual event. I can switch things out, and we see it all right there on the rack.
And my job is to make sure.
We're crazy.
I mean, I try to do everything that would cause her harm, like an iron. I don't let her touch an iron. I mean, I don't want you. I need you in the best shape you can be. If she touches a hot iron, it's over for days, right? Aside from that, lifting heavy things. Aside from that, making sure that the car is maintained.
I also
oil,
put all
air in
the
the tire.
things that I need, my medications, heating pads, pillows, blankets. I have them I'm short, so I put them on the floor in the passenger side in front of me. So if you're riding with us, you're going to be like, oh, I'm hungry. I'm like, oh, which kind of snack would you like? I have the snacks right here. I have drinks. I have all of that ready to go for
all I
whatever
gotta do
anybody
is say,
needs in the car.
I need something to drink, and then here comes a menu. Or, hey, I'm hungry. Oh, yeah? Oh, what do you like? We got this. So
what is in the menu? What are the drinks and what are the snacks?
Mostly
Gatorade. For him, Sprite, Gatorade, coffee, or water.
Yeah. But that's quite a bit of choices when you're just traveling down the road.
Guys have a little bit of everything so that you don't have to stop, except for I do have bladder incontinence sometimes. So I'm like, I got to pee now. So
I know not to go another mile.
He knows, like, okay.
Don't push it to the next rest stop.
Just
pull
over. Pull over.
Yeah, we know how that is.
You might be watching me pee on the side of the road.
But as far as like food, it's energy types of food. Nothing like heavy and lethargic and but then also
granola
we're trying
bars,
to
nuts.
We've really tried
sunflower seeds are one of my superfoods.
Right, and that segues right into trying to be healthy when we eat. But then everybody says, well, this is healthy because we've been told our whole life it's healthy. But how do you know it's healthy to you as a personal individual? And that's a whole nother story. But
no, you got me with a soy on Sunday. But we'll that for the next interview, yes.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do a part 2.
He's saying it correctly now, but up until a few days ago, he was saying it totally different, and people would just go, "What's that? I never heard of that food."
Soy.
He was like, "Soya."
I don't get it. I didn't know I was doing.
Wait, isn't that the name of for it? Is that why there was confusion? I think the Soya brand of soy.
Oh, maybe.
Well, I still don't believe I was saying it.
And other people were like, "What?" They were staring at him like he had 3 eyes. What are you talking about, Soya?
You know, one thing I love about you too is, like you said, with everything, you kind of have to have a balance, and the fact that he plays such a great, he's such a great caregiver to you. Oh, he takes care of you. And the fact that you're able to, you coordinate everything, and he does the ironing, and he does this to help you so you won't, obviously get burned and stuff. But it's such a lovely couple to see, a caregiver, the love that you guys have for each other. That's one of the things. That's why I started this with, you are my favorite couple, because you remind me not only of my husband and I, but I just see all the love that you have for each other. And, it's just amazing to see that you guys not only are, Ken is your caregiver, Barbie, but you also, work together. You guys are able to work together and continue to do everything that you guys are doing. And I know we have a slide deck, right, Melissa, that we're going to.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you just got me on all the traveling, because I've had an image of us going on the road in a Sprinter together or something. I mean, if someone knows how to drive a big bus, that would be different. But you'll have to, perfect.
You can do everything.
That's awesome. So now we just got to find a tour bus that we can all break down the seats and have bunk beds in there. But you'll have to teach me how to dress, because when I travel, all I wear is black. So
yeah,
black t-shirts, black pants.
In the back, we have a blow-up mattress in case you need to lay down. It's in the back, so you can just get back in the trunk It's not really the trunk. What do you call it?
It's an SUV.
It's an SUV.
Okay.
So we put the seat down and we have a bed back there for when those times call.
Well, maybe it's a Caravan then we call for, because we have a RAV4, so maybe it can make some adjustments there. Quickly, before we get to the slide deck, let's just go through. Why don't we say hello to some of our people? So I know we have Mari from Lupus Spoons from Chicago saying hello. Jess from the UK tuning in. Claudia, Orange County, hello. Oh, that's close to us. Ontario, North Carolina. Hello, everyone who's tuning in. Oh, and Lupus Spoons loves that Ken irons.
Ken's very good at ironing. He even irons my hair.
Crystal's here. Oh, Crystal says we need to rent an RV.
Yes.
Oh, welcome, everyone.
You said Caravan, and it just sparked an idea. Can we just call it Caravan?
Oh my God.
Jump on the Caravan.
That's it. On the road trip, we would be doing that. We just have little brainstorm sessions and talk about, what is missing?
Epiphany.
What can we do?
The light bulb just went off.
Yep.
Well, you're in Arizona, so it's not that far from us. So that's a quick drive.
Yes.
Until the pandemic, we were making we'd frequent California and Las Vegas. You know, those are
A lot.
San Diego. Those are our go-tos. You know, in the car.
Oh, I know. We'll have to get back to that soon. So we're anxiously waiting. But let's move on to our slide deck. And again, this was really difficult to highlight and pick and choose what to showcase with all your amazing programs. So, I mean, like I said, part 2 with maybe other things or showcase more of your work. It's a tremendous body of work. I was even looking through YouTube and all the work and interviews you were doing. So I remember those days. So
It's way back, doesn't it?
Yes. It's exciting though. But like, that's why it's just like, you're such an inspiration for all of us to like learn from. And I love the energy that you have. And even from being a caregiver, like all this insights you have too, and how we can just support each other. So it's fantastic.
Awesome. Well, I love that you enjoy it. And I love that you find it inspiring.
Well, then that's why the purpose of all of this too is to share advocates that are making an impact and really inspire others to make changes that they need, get involved. I mean, your organization has people getting involved. And so we just want more of that and more people to become more activated.
Yeah. Do it. Your story matters. It matters more than you even know. And especially if your story is difficult and complicated, you're so not alone, but that's the story that
needs to be heard.
A lot of people connect to and connect with. So yeah, our magazine is one of the greatest things. I mean, to highlight stories like that as well.
Well, we're going to definitely share more information about the magazine. I wanted to share this comment from Claudia too. You guys all have such positive, awesome, beautiful vibes. Thank you. Thank you, Claudia. Okay, so I hope I did this justice.
I think you did.
You want to walk us through a little bit?
Sure. We do an event called iGiveACare, and but this is pictured is Barb Black. So I'm Barbie, and that's actually my name is Barbie, and Barb is Barbara, but she goes by Barb. And she's on our board of directors, and she's a certified hypnotherapist, and she's the director at Ketamine Wellness Centers. The guy with the crew on his hat is Richard Dean Anderson from MacGyver. He's very awesome. He's a chronic pain patient himself and a great advocate for the pain community. Next is me. I was freezing that day, even though it was a nice, beautiful, sunny day. I have a snowsuit on because I have trouble regulating my body temperature. So that's why I have a snowsuit on underneath my stuff. And then on the end is Ken. And we have our next iGiveACare Run, Walk, Roll in May, the end of May this year. So we do a spring and a fall. And it's an exciting event. You can win medals and prize.
And it'll be virtual too, right? So we can join it.
Do it from anywhere in the world. So last year's events and this year's events are all online for us, or you can do them in your own community, in your own house, that type of thing, just to keep it safer for everybody in the pain community.
Yes, and
also use your own.
This week, this This past one, the one in the fall, and we got our medals. There were 5 of us in my team, and we got our medals. So thank you.
Awesome.
You're welcome. Thank you for your support and for participating and raising awareness in your own communities. And I think that's one of the things that we love about the iGiveACare Run, Walk, Roll is that it's not just the people that are doing it, but people see you out walking as a family, as a team, as an individual, and then you're like, hey, you know, let's talk about lupus, let's talk about Lyme disease or arachnoiditis or fibromyalgia. Like, it's a time where you can run into random people if you're out in the public and share that information.
Exactly.
All right. Oh, this one is these dancers are the silhouettes for America's Got Talent on NBC. And on the right hand side, holding the maroon balloon is Lynn, who is their director and coach. And then on the left-hand side, the 2 women in the front are Emily and Audrey, who were our directors of our music video. And they all took part. And there's actually their coach, Lynn, and 4 of their members actually live with chronic pain. And many of them have parents or family members that have chronic pain. So it was definitely a great partnership to team up with them and help raise awareness. And they all are holding balloons because we do a project called iPain Pop. And so they were doing a separate video from the Hope is True video that we have out to raise awareness.
That is so cool. And you incorporate a lot of music in your projects.
Absolutely. We love music and dance, and music moves awareness. And like with our song Hope is True, or Go for Wuhan Style, or Redondo, we have multiple songs now. Even if it just gets you moving your shoulders or wiggling in your chair, it's something that causes movement, which causes endorphins, which can help you feel a little bit better. So we're hoping that the music inspires people to move. And then our winter edition of our magazine, which I think you have one coming up, but has Billy Blanks Jr. on the cover, and he's all about dance and dancing it out. And he's also a chronic pain patient. So, and my background was dance. So we have a lot of dance around us, and sometimes they even get him to dance.
You'll have to work on all of us once we do. We could have a dance party, and I'll just move my feet from left to right for you.
That's all you have to do. Step, touch, step, touch. That works. So, this on the left is Diana DeGarmo Young, and behind her is Ryan Young, who is a chronic pain patient. He's been in multiple accidents, and his brother
to really reconstruct his body. He was really crumbled.
Literally reconstructed his body. Ace Young from American Idol, who's married to Diana DeGarmo, who was on American Idol. She got 2nd place. I believe he got 7th place in season 3 and season 5. And they've been great advocates for International Pain Foundation, and even back to when we were Power Pain Foundation, and have done multiple events for us. Put pain in the penalty box, and different events like that we've done over the years. And then Ken and I, we got to do a photo shoot with them, and got a lot of different pictures from it. But they were so awesome with using their celebrity and name to bring awareness to chronic pain and the challenges that Ace's brother has faced. And Ryan is just an incredible man, and Ryan and I will like stand together in pictures and be like, pain affects us all, tall and small. So
I love this creativity. Like, even put pain in the penalty box. Like, this is just, all these ideas are flowing. Oh my goodness, that's such creative names.
Ace would come in. God, I don't know how many times he did it. We used to team up with the Coyotes, which is Arizona's ice hockey team, if you can believe Arizona has ice hockey. And he would sing the national anthem.
And then come do autographs and talk to the fans at the game.
Table, our booth table out on the concourse, and we would give away, whatever we could find and give away, and that type of thing, little prizes.
And then Ace and Diana have performed for us at other events, Comic Pain Relief, and other events that we've done. And Ryan's right there with them. And Ryan actually is a music producer and was one of the producers that helped with putting together Hope is True.
comic pain relief. That's the first time you mentioned it. That's the first time we talked about that. I love comic pain relief, and we get to know some really awesome comedians. So, but yeah, they performed. They opened for Joan Rivers. Joan Rivers did a headline event for us with our comic pain relief, and they opened for her. Yep. Great memories.
Yep. We also do a lot of legislative work, not a lot, but that's one of our focuses under Access for Care or Access to Care. And pictured with me on the right is Jennifer Brand, who has been with iPain since probably 2009 or 10, a long time, over 10 years that we've been working with her. And she does pageants. She was Mrs. Adams Morgan in Washington, D.C. And then right now she's down living in Florida and doing advocacy work down there. And she was our military ambassador for many years and has done a lot with us and with the military to help get treatment and access for the vets who live with chronic pain conditions. And we were in DC at Representative Gozar's office when this picture was taken.
That's just so cool with the comedy and the music and everything that's coming up, because I always see your events too. They're always nice with these backgrounds, and I was just like, red carpets. I was like, oh my goodness.
Orange.
Oh yes, orange.
We do orange carpets, but yes, it's a
carpet event though, definitely.
In our personal life, we do a lot of reality and media pieces. Some make it to air, some don't. But we get that from doing a lot of red carpets. We make ours an awareness carpet event and bring our iPain Pop project onto that. Pictured here is a podcast host, Amy Coe, who I met through Paula Abdul, and her and Megan Roach, who is one of our writers for our cover stories for iPain Living magazine. They have a radio show called All Access Abdul, and then Amy also does her own podcast show. And she attended our Hope is True premiere party out in LA. So that's what this was from.
I've been missing out on all the LA parties because I mean, I live in Pasadena area, so LA is different, but it's like, oh.
Yeah. And Amy actually lives with a seizure disorder. So that also is another tie into what we do in our projects and how she chose to get involved with what we do. And
it's really neat too. And I don't know if neat is the right word, but it's really interesting too. When you start working with somebody, it's very seldom we work with somebody that isn't affected with some kind of a condition. And if they aren't, which is actually not even, they usually are, but if they're not, they know somebody that is, or they're personally affected from a parent or a loved one that is. So pain touches us all, everybody. And if it doesn't touch you, it touches somebody that you do love. And
if you don't know anybody that has a chronic pain condition, you aren't talking to your family and friends.
That is true.
Yes, and it's connecting everyone. We have so many people that are joining us that are sharing like, oh, I have lupus, or I have someone with lupus, or I have fibromyalgia, or so-and-so was diagnosed with neuropathy. So there's so many conditions that, do have, we all have one thing in common, and that's pain. So it's very it's so amazing, and I can't find the word either, like you can, like, is it neat, is it amazing, is it interesting? It's just, I think, good that we're all working on this together and supporting one another. But yes, you see it everywhere, and unfortunately and very fortunately, we have each other. Even though we do have pain, we still want to make the best out of everything. Just looking at this picture, you're looking at everything that you guys are doing with the Music Moves Awareness, iPain Pop for chronic pain, Hope is True. It's amazing to see how you can connect to so many different people. I know Melissa has a music, background in music and bands and everything. And, so you connect so many people. Again, even though they're not living with a condition, I'm sure they support or love someone with a condition.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And yeah, you guys are doing amazing work. And we're spotlighting what iPain does, but there's so many great organizations and great advocates. You don't have to be connected to an organization to make a difference, to share your story, to talk to your legislators. You don't have to be connected to an organization. We happen to be.
And you don't have to start your own organization to make
Right.
a difference either.
Right.
Oh, that's so true. And just getting involved with different ways. So we have some advocates, I mean, that do that. Okay, the conferences.
Yes, this is our last in-person conference that we were able to do right before the shutdown and pandemic. And this was at UCLA Medical Center, Conference Center. And our doctors get down to earth. The presenter decided, I'm going to sit in this chair and present from this chair. Not all the presenters are able to stand at the podium. So they could choose how they wanted to present, what they were there to present. And definitely this is Dr. Demersion that's presenting right now. And he talks about TMJ and the correlates to neuroinflammation and how controlling the neuroinflammation through your TMJ.
Temporomandibular joint.
Thank you. Can make a difference, and in many different conditions that you don't necessarily think of. So we love having him every few years. He comes in and does his presentation. He's done some free evaluations of patients. We'll get him a private room, and patients can go in there one-on-one and have a free private evaluation with him and with some of the other providers that attend our summits and teach. So you know, we can't wait to get back to doing it in person, but we're continuing it on virtually now.
Oh, that's great. I mean, it's such a widespread of everything that you're doing with the programs. And two, it's just also one thing I noticed with your organization is you bring out a lot of the professionals too that open up about their conditions. So patient advocates, there's some celebrities, but also the professionals that work in the field who actually are maybe sometimes feel a little bit sensitive to opening up about their own conditions. You're bringing everyone together and making them feel comfortable to talk about this and really help the entire community.
Absolutely. I'll just give you a brief example of that. The head of the Health and Human Services, the health department here in Arizona, Dr. Kara Chris, we went on a show called Sunday Showdown together, and we were supposed to have a showdown on air. And
it was more like we have too much in common.
And she had never admitted that she was a chronic pain patient. She was like, backstage in the green room before we went live, she admitted to me that she also lives with chronic pain, but there's some times where she didn't feel comfortable speaking about her personal experience. And so she was glad that I was there to talk about mine. And so we kind of had this bonding moment. And by the time we got on air, it was a love fest. And she actually felt comfortable enough to admit on air in an interview that she too was a chronic pain patient and suffered with some of these challenges that were going on in the pain community. And it was like, wow. I was like, she just said that live on air when that was like something that we had a private conversation about and she wasn't going to share. So it definitely is great when someone can feel comfortable to talk about it, and we give them that support that they know that if they do share, they will be supported in that share.
That's just magic, how you're getting people to open up and share about what they're going through and just feel comfortable with it. Because again, like when I met you guys at Pain Week, we were in Las Vegas and I was like terrified because all the anxiety with all the lights, but Barby made me feel so welcome to know like, no, that's okay. You showed me your glasses with the headaches. And I was like, oh, wow. Okay. So all this anxiousness or the lights and stuff, like I felt very comfortable after that.
Awesome. Yeah.
That's great. And a lot of times it's just knowing that you're not alone so that you don't feel, so you feel more comfortable in your own skin. It's like, I'm no different. I'm no different than somebody that inspires me or somebody that I look up to. So
that's different,
awesome.
but
I really love hearing that.
These things don't make me awkward.
Right. Absolutely.
You know, so this picture here is a group, I believe, from Israel, a hospital in Israel that participated in our November project, and they got together patients, family of the patients, and the providers and staff, and they all came together and had an orange day, painting the world orange, and so they all were excited and shared, and then it grows and grows on social media and keeps going year after year. we keep adding to the pictures and sharing what different people did each year. So this was a group from Israel. And then this, we actually, the Patient Support Organization of Uganda is actually a government nonprofit of the country of Uganda. And Josie, who is pictured here with the blue shirt on, is the leader of this organization. And they came to us last year with this official letter, like it was from the government of Uganda. And
it blew us away.
It blew us away.
It totally blew us
and
away.
They said, we want to share November with the people of Uganda, and we want to do this whole event and project as part of November. And are we allowed to do this? And they asked for permission to help expand our program. And what they came up with was so amazing. This is one picture of the group, but they did free health screenings for everybody who attended. They did the most amazing write-up. They're still getting press about it. And it's really, I mean, really Josie has been pushing it and leading it. And it made me want to go. Like, I'm like, I don't want to miss this.
She was inspiring. She's very inspiring.
Yeah, I want to go. I literally want to get on the plane and go, even with COVID, to the next one, because they did such an amazing job. Their whole team did. And it's so inspirational to see what we're doing take root around the world. And especially like a government agency noticing us and saying, hey, what you're doing is great. Can we be a part of that? Can we add to it? Yeah, it was amazing. So.
That is so cool. I mean, just seeing all of this. Although I will have to ask, how are you on the plane? That pole can't come with you. So
you froze, but I think you said we'll get with you. So I'll add myself to that, even if you said that you will. We will. It's amazing. When I saw this on social media, I was just so happy. Yes.
Of happiness. It was amazing.
Yes. You see, you're touching so many, not only are you're touching these people's lives, but you're inspiring the whole area there to help others. I mean, for them to take it beyond what you guys are doing and do the physicals and do all this other healthcare, provide healthcare to the community there, I think is amazing.
Absolutely. And their culture is to not talk about the pain and not address the pain, and to now have the government saying it's okay to talk about your pain. There's things that can be done to help you with chronic pain conditions, no matter what condition you have. It's so inspiring, and I'm just so proud of their whole team and everything that they've done, and so happy that they chose to spotlight November and our November project and take it steps further, not just one step further. They went far.
Yeah, they went beyond. It was great.
This is iPain Living Magazine, which came out of our Music Moves Awareness Project. We had one of our executive members board members at that time said, hey, I want to lead a project, a 12-step program, and things that patients can do to better their daily living. And we started brainstorming, how can we get this project out there, these 12 steps out. So the first magazine is all about the 12 steps that patients can do. And we had patients and caregivers and providers write articles. Each different person wrote a different article, and that comprised the first iPain Living magazine. And we thought it was going to be a one and done.
Well, it was too much information for a brochure or a pamphlet. And it was like, oh my goodness, let's just put it into like a digital magazine. And and we didn't even print for a while.
Right. And then the advocate won a scholarship, and she had to give the money to a charity. She chose iPain, and we were able to take it to print. And then people started seeing the print version saying, I want to subscribe. How do we do this? And we're like, we're not really. We wanted to like have free information. We only did a one and done. And so then
our goal was not to set out and start a magazine. Right. It just wasn't the goal. It turned into that. But again, from when we were saying earlier is like find out what you like the most and what you're good at, and find out those projects that you want to build. And this just happened to be one of them because it was accepted so openly and you know, with open arms, really. I mean, it was a lot of, and it's a great way to get information out. So we have a digital version of the magazine along with the print. And
before the shutdown, we were in Barnes and Noble, Books A Million, Chapters Books, Whole Foods, select pharmacies. We've gotten offers from CVS and Walgreens to go into their stores. And, you know, it was really starting to pick up and thrive. The year 1, we did 1 magazine. We thought we were done. Year 2, we did 2. Year 3 was 3. Then we went to 4. Now we're on year 6. And
it's 4 a year.
Now we stayed at 4 a year. We thought about going to 6 editions a year. We're not quite there yet. We've gotten offers to expand it to the UK, and you know, it's just growing, but we have to grow at a certain pace. And then the pandemic hit and took us back a few steps, but we still are putting out our 4 issues a year, and we actually are almost complete with fall, and we're starting to look at the 2022 issues and getting articles for those. So if you have an idea or want to be spotlighted as a patient or caregiver story, please reach out and let us know. You can email media@internationalpain.org, and we can work on that. But we are into 2022 now. We have so many people contributing and giving us great material, articles and stories and tips, tricks, poems. We've done a couple of different poems now. We've done some word finds.
Yeah, content was it was more difficult earlier, and now content is just
exploding.
I mean, yeah, it's not hard to come up with content, and you tap into a few communities that have people that have real stories that people can connect with, and that like to share them, and we always love those, you know, spotlights. But it's a great way to get information out. You can see on this cover is Medicare Advantage versus supplement plans. Well, that's great information. There's also an article in here about medication deadlines, which is really, really helpful for people. You know, and you can see the headlines, and we try to keep everything real and useful and helpful.
Oh, it's so much fun to see these magazines.
Yeah, so. And we also try to get different people represented on the cover stories. So, you know, we are actually looking for somebody who's younger, maybe teens, 20s, year old, to be on the magazine cover. You have to have a IMDb score of 500,000 or better, and have a connection to chronic pain. You can't just be like, I'm a celebrity, put me on the cover. You have to earn it. But
I can't, yeah.
But we have older people, we've had younger people, we've had Latino people.
I don't qualify for the cover.
Ken does not qualify. Ken does not qualify for the cover. The first cover was Allie Hilfiger, and she has Lyme disease. And people think that the picture's kind of black and white, and my hair was a little bit longer at the time, and everybody's like, oh, of course you put yourself on the cover. I'm like, that's not me, but thank you.
Of issue 1. And it wasn't.
Nope, I'm going to be on issue 10 for our 10-year anniversary. That's my cover.
Not issue 10. That's
not issue 10, year 10. So if we make it to year 10, I'm going to finally earn my cover. But
what about Ken?
Do what?
What about Ken? Will he get his own cover?
I'll be on the inside cover.
Or the full spread inside, right? That's how it works. We'll put you both in there.
And she'll have, when she makes a cover, she'll have a pictures on the inside.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll sneak one of those images in for Barbie that I'm in it as well. Yes. I'll figure out how to surface there.
When you do the editing, you just add yourself on there.
He does that.
It's approved.
Yeah. So he'll touch, like Ross McCreary is a regular contributor to our magazine, and he wrote a story about, you know, treating pain is like running a marathon. And so Ken and the graphics team took a picture of it was a group of marathon runners, and he took Ross participates in the iGiveACare run, walk, roll. So Ken took one of his pictures from participating in the run, walk, roll and mixed him in with the other individual humans. I don't know what you, in the graphic. And Ross is like, I would provide you a picture, but I know you're just gonna take me and put me in with other people. So you just go find the picture you need.
It turned out good. It turned out good. And Ross contributes to almost every issue.
Everything we do.
He's been very supportive, and he's a great writer. And he lives in chronic pain, and he's going through some difficult times right now, as a matter of fact. But and there's so many more. There's so many more that contribute, and they have very great stories in their own way to share. Not great that they're impacted the way they are, but they share in a great way, because sharing your story is having an impact.
Yes. And just a tip for new advocates out there. I once took a picture that was free royalty picture, and I used it for a campaign we were doing, and then I got an $800 bill for using that person's picture, even though it was royalty free, because we used it in an ad way. The company came back and said, we own this picture of this man holding this pill. So we always do our own graphics and creative everything, so that we don't get those random bills that we aren't expecting. So just be aware of that. If you are trying to take a picture and use it, and you're like, it says royalty free, not if you're using it commercially. So
that was just
be careful with that. And that was just, a pamphlet.
That was just a pamphlet. So I'm glad we learned our lesson at the pamphlet level.
But then
Getty Images will come after you. I've heard stories.
They will come after you.
If it was in a magazine, they'd be like, we'd get audited for like, okay, how much money have you made off this magazine? Because it's ours.
Well, we have an exciting part. This is Estella's favorite part of the show. Is our live giveaway part. So this is a surprise to our guests. But what we like to do with the Impacts Fund is definitely support the organization, and then also show support to the community. So part of the reason we talked about the iPain Living magazine is for our giveaway today, we're going to be giving away subscriptions. So we're going to give away 3 yearly subscriptions to the magazine from the fund. So we have trivia question. We need to do it also on Instagram. I've been getting some flack from our Instagram friends that they aren't involved with the giveaway. So we'll have to figure out the same giveaway on Instagram. So sorry, people in Instagram world. But this is for everyone tuning in and watching. So the yearly list subscriptions. Our question, though, we've been making them too easy. So you guys can give me feedback if this is a little bit harder than usual. But for anyone watching out there, in order to win the giveaway, you need to name, what is the name of Barbie's best-selling book?
So everyone's taking out their phone right now because we haven't talked about it yet. And I usually give away a lot of the answers throughout the conversation or the interview, or I have you guys do it, but it has been too easy. So hopefully someone answers.
Hopefully I didn't make this too hard, but so we can go. I'm gonna just give people a little cheat. So
I can't. Crystal. Okay.
Because I have 9 books, so this is they're probably looking at my information right now and seeing 9 books and going, oh no, which is the bestseller? But
well, you have it it'll be easy. I mean, Crystal got the answer, so with all this stuff, so we're looking for it. So I mean, we'll ask Crystal if she wants the subscription, so if she's subscribed, but we'll keep this giveaway going, because we really want to support all your work, and I thought that was a fun way to give some yearly subscriptions to people so they can get the magazine and get more involved with your organization. And again, we'll figure out something for Instagram.
Okay. So let's do a second. So that was the first question. Should we let someone else win? Okay. So yeah. So, or should we ask another question for the
Claudia? I'm helping you out. So Claudia said, "Oh, I missed it." Yes. Okay. We're getting some answers.
You just said it. Andrea Ramirez.
See, I had to help people, prompt people along, and they go to Barbie's website. So Andrea just got it as well. So winner, winner.
Two. Okay, so maybe the third one. So those were the first two. So let's do a different question. So where in another place did they do the iPain? What is it? The iPain. What did you call that event? Was it the November?
November?
Was it November in the other country?
Uh-huh.
I didn't want to say it was November. Okay, so if you were watching and listening, what other place was able to? Oh, Lupus Spoons got it. Uganda.
Yeah. Lupus Spoons is on a roll. I thank you, Lupus Spoons, for watching all of our broadcasts, and she's on top of it too.
Yes, look at her. She got it like as soon as I asked. Well, the reason, I think that is like everything you do is impactful. But I think when we do these interviews, it's so important for people to take away all the biggest things that you guys are doing. And you guys do so much. But I think the fact that Uganda was able to see the impact that you were doing, and for them to also take it and run with it and do this in their country. And we'll see this, in future generations and everything coming up. So you are making such a big difference. And again, thank you to Melissa for allowing everyone to see everything that iPain is doing, everything that you, Barbie, and that you, Ken, are doing. Because one thing is the International Pain Foundation and everything that you guys are doing with all the different programs and all the different events. I've attended some and I love them. And I remember the first time I posted something, it was I have the nerve to be heard. And we were at an airport, my sister and I think we were coming from Washington, and I saw it pop up and I said, oh my gosh, it's like almost the end of November. I want to participate in this because I have the nerve to be heard. And we got a filter and we took a selfie and I posted that. And it's one of the most beautiful pictures that I posted of my sister and I. And, because, that's our downtime. That's when I get to post because I do all the social media. But that was the first time that I did that. And since then, you've had me hooked. And, I try to participate in everything. I try to share. And I think one of the things that you guys do, and you mentioned it at the beginning, is you can't do everything. So you have to empower and support others that do. There's no way that we could do any of that. Everything that you're doing is amazing. So I love to share what you do. I love to participate in the stuff that you do. And then the first summit that we attended was last year's summit at UCLA.
That's 2 years ago.
Oh, 2 years ago. That's right. We have it. And to see you just on a wheelchair with your oxygen tank, and to see Ken running, over back and forth, trying to care for you, and, when everything was done and over with, and to see you still working away despite of how you were feeling, it's just one of the things that I admire about you guys, because it was like the show must go on. Even though you had your oxygen tank, you were like, okay, we need to do this because it's already been there. Not to say that we should all do that, because we should rest. And right after that, I know you did rest. But, it's just incredible to see everything that you guys are doing, and how a lot of the times, you guys are there at the end picking all this up. And a lot of people don't get to see all of that stuff that, I just like to hang around and see how I can help, because that's, what my parents how they raised us. And my sister couldn't be there the last day, but I remember seeing you guys, and it just gave me just a different view of what people see. You guys are on the red carpet, on the orange carpet. You guys are on all of these events, and a lot of people don't get to see that behind the scenes. And I saw it, and it truly inspires me, and it motivates me to help you even more.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was one of the hardest events I've ever done, and I literally went to the hospital
and the reason,
after we cleaned up.
And that was valley fever, is what she and
valley fever pneumonia. So
it was, it took her down. And it happened right in front of the event. And just like you said, the show must go on. And
but it doesn't always have
Barby's
to be.
like one of the biggest
bad.
troopers that I've ever known in my entire life.
But if you can't make it through, and I had the hospital at UCLA on notice from my doctors that, hey, I might have to leave the event and go, but I was going to do everything in my power. But that's not for everybody. And I had my doctor's permission, and some of my providers were at the conference. So don't put yourself through that if it's not approved by your doctor and if you're not up for it.
Yeah, we did feel a little bit of an extra layer of security, protection, I guess.
With my doctors in the hotel and everything with us, so.
But thanks for noticing that and everything. I really appreciate it. I remember I remember meeting you there and your sister at the same time.
Well, we met her at a different event prior to that.
I didn't,
yes.
Not for the first time, but I remember meeting you and your sister there at the UCLA event, and it's just grown into something really awesome. I love it.
Yeah, we actually on that first day we got out of we landed. We were at I think we were at a conference in Georgia, and we came, and as soon as we got here, we got there, and she couldn't go the other 2 days because it was during the week. But I was like, I need to go. I need to make it. And that's where we met Daniel. So you meet so many amazing people that you guys work with. So it's just amazing to see everything that you guys are doing. You're connectors, you're inspiring, you're empowering, and you're doing so much. So it's amazing. And look,
Daniel was on our cover. Daniel G. Garza. He's amazing. He's a great advocate, and he does stuff again for so many different people. He networks. It's great. Nicole Arbor was on our cover. She's a fibromyalgia patient, and she is phenomenal at connecting and networking and cheering people on. And
she was a cheerleader.
She was a cheerleader also. So that helps to have that background drilled into you. But
all the cheerleaders are gonna have to accept a nerd, please. So
you are accepted. Yes, yes, we need you.
You'll do all the math work, so we know where we need a balance on that pyramid. Make sure that
exactly the engineer.
Well, I'm waiting for the pharmacogenomics talk, so that's gonna be part 2. We'll hear about all of that. And thank you just both for all your bravery and courage and just hearing all of this too, because some of us are sometimes scared to go events, but just taking on that courage is an important thing to highlight. And I mean, I'm loving some of these comments that are coming in. So people appreciate everything you're doing. So Claudia loves it.
There's like a rain, maybe hailstorm getting ready to start. And it's I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it was it scared me.
Oh no, well, we don't want to lose you yet either. So I mean, just showcase to everybody here at Lupus Spoons. They love the interviews. So I know we're running a little bit over than what, but we'll cut it up for our Instagram friends.
Well, keep up the great work.
Yes.
You guys are doing some really tremendous and wonderful things, and bringing people together like you're doing with this is just really, really awesome, and it's needed. Because too many people treat things like a competition. So thanks for everything you're doing. We love this project that you're doing. The road
and for
trip.
Healthy Voices that you're working with.
Absolutely.
They're an amazing organization, and what they're doing through Janssen & Johnson & Johnson is fabulous. And I'm so glad that you got this award, and you'll be showcasing other people on your road tour.
Yeah, we need to dive more into food insecurity and food deserts and stuff like that. So that's up next. I thought it would be fun to highlight some more advocates and just the work that we're doing to assess what we need. So if you have anybody that talks about food insecurity or anything that wants to come on to address those issues, be happy to do it, because we're relating it to chronic illness, because I know sometimes we talk about food and food is medicine, but can you actually access that food when doctors tell you to eat healthy, and what does that mean? So we're going to be talking about more in the next leg of the tour.
Love it.
We might know a few hitchhikers for the road trip. Don't be afraid to stop, pull over, and pick them up.
You know us, we're going to pull over.
If they have their thumbs out.
That's so fun. Thank you. And again, we'll have to schedule part 2. Everyone out there, pharmacogenomics, and who knows what else is. We definitely want to highlight more of the things that you're doing as well. So we'll have you back on for another takeover. Thank you so much, everyone. Awesome. Thank you, Barby and Ken, for being here with us.
Oh, it's our pleasure. Thank you.
Great job.
Virtual hugs or virtual high fives or hugs or cheers. Air hugs. Okay. I like that better. Thank you everyone for tuning in. And for those of you that want the giveaway, make sure to get in contact with me so we can get you the magazine subscription. Bye.
Bye.
Bye everybody. Thanks for attending. We love you all.